All right, welcome back, everyone. So, let's talk about something I think we all have hiding in a drawer somewhere. Old tech. Specifically that streaming stick that used to be your go-to, but now, not so much. But what if I told you it could have a whole new lease on life? Let's dive in.
Oh man, we've all been there, right? You plug in that old Chromecast or maybe an old Android TV box, and it just feels like it's, as the source material puts it, swimming against the current. Apps take forever to load, the whole interface just stutters and lags, it's just plain frustrating. But wait, before you decide to just toss it in a box and forget about it, you gotta know that even a slow device still has a ton of potential. Seriously, you just have to change how you think about it. So, what's the secret? How do we fix this? Well, it's not some crazy complicated hack or anything. It's actually way simpler. The trick is to just give the device less to do. And this right here, this is the core idea. See, the problem isn't really that the hardware is totally useless. It's that we're asking it to do way too much. With its limited processor and memory, trying to juggle a dozen apps and background processes is what's causing all that lag. But if you make it focus all its power on just one job, well, it can actually do that one job really well. So that's our mission here. We're going to take this bogged-down, multi-purpose gadget and turn it into a lean, mean, single-function machine. We strip out everything it doesn't need, and we dedicate it to doing just one thing and doing it perfectly. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's look at 5 really specific, super creative new jobs for that old streaming stick. We're going to take it from being pretty much useless to something you'll actually find uniquely useful. All right, so let's get into it. Here are 5 fantastic new lives you can give that old streaming stick. First up, a retro gaming console. Most of these streaming sticks run on some version of Android, which makes them surprisingly good at emulating classic games from, say, the 8 and 16-bit eras. All you do is pair a simple Bluetooth controller, install an all-in-one emulator app like RetroArch, and bam, you've got yourself an instant, dirt-cheap nostalgia machine. Number 2, an offline media player. Now, this is a really brilliant move for those older devices that, aren't getting security updates anymore. You just disconnect it from the internet completely, which gets rid of any security risk. Then, install a great local player like VLC, load up a USB drive with your own movies and music, and boom, you have a totally secure personal media center. Third idea, a dedicated music console. Think about it. Instead of fumbling around with your phone every time you want to change the music on your smart speakers, you can just plug the stick into a small, cheap monitor, connect that to your sound system, and suddenly you've got this beautiful, always-on display showing album art and playlists. And you can control it all with a simple remote. All right, idea number 4 is a cool one. An over-the-air TV extender. So if you use a TV antenna to get free local channels, you're usually stuck watching on just one TV. But there's this little box called an HD home run that can broadcast your antenna signal over your home network. So you just plug your old streaming stick into any other TV in the house, install the app, and you can watch local news in the kitchen or the big game out in the garage. And finally, number 5, a dedicated security camera monitor. Stop pulling your phone out of your pocket every single time you hear a strange noise outside. Just plug your old stick into a small monitor on your desk or maybe the kitchen counter, set it to show your camera feeds, and you've got this always-on security hub that you can just glance at anytime. It is so convenient. So, let's just pull this all together. Each one of these new lives, right, from a gaming rig to a security monitor, it just needs 1 or 2 simple things to get going. It really just goes to show you how a little bit of creativity can turn a device you thought was useless into a really specialized, helpful tool. But at the end of the day, this is about more than just these 5 projects. It's really about shifting our mindset, learning to see the hidden potential in the technology that we already own. Look, the point here isn't to do something totally revolutionary. It's about being clever. It's about being resourceful and squeezing that extra life out of a device you already paid for, just by giving it one simple, focused job to do. And that really just leaves us with one last question for you to think about. That old streaming stick? That's just the start. So, what other old phones, tablets, or gadgets are sitting in your drawers right now, just waiting for a new, single-function life? The possibilities? They're pretty much endless.